Hello again, Virgo. It's May 2015. I'm Dadhichi, Toth, the CEO and founder of astrological.com.au. Very few astrologers will argue the point that the 10th house of the horoscope is the most powerful position for the planets. And when the ruling planet, namely for you, Mercury, enters into this 10th house, it really does signal a very, very fine cycle, an interval of time, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, where you can enjoy some very, very good opportunities in your professional life. And Mercury does exactly that on the 1st of May, moving into the powerful 10th house, the sign of Gemini for you, and continuing in its transit and giving you very, very good results up until the 19th, when now, here's a bone of contention. Your ruling planet, Mercury, goes retrograde. So what are we to make of that? Of course, you'll probably find yourself challenged a little bit. If, according to the Eastern astrologers, we take what they say at face value, the retrogression of a ruling planet will actually empower you and bring much, much more success. So this is an important part of your yearly cycle. I think May is one of the most important months for you, given that your ruling planet is moving there in the upper part of the horoscope, notwithstanding the fact that around the 19th the planet does go in its apparent reverse motion. Now let's take a look also at the lunations, because I think that's going to throw some light on what's happening here as well. The full moon takes place in the 3rd house of communications and short journeys and the more conscious, rational mind. That also aspects or looks at the 9th house of journeys, long journeys that is, and educational pursuits. As the month starts, we've got Mars and the Sun there, so that's also a dominant theme for those of you born under Virgo in May, and it has a lot to do with the issues of travel and education and morality. But let me point this out, Mars particularly is your worst planet, ruling the 8th house of Aries, and the Sun rules your 12th house. Not quite as bad as Mars, but the conjunction of both of those is not particularly good for educational pursuits. We see on the day that the month starts, Mercury, as I said, just moves into the 10th house. So it's good for your career, but for those of you that are planning any sort of push forward in your education, there could be some setbacks in that area. And also we see Saturn just sitting there very slowly retrogressing back in your 4th house of personal happiness and domestic. So that's not a great area. Of course, when career things take off, then something else has to suffer, and it seems like that might actually be your personal life and your family. So try to find some balance there. Mars does move to the 10th house. The fact that it's not your best planet still doesn't take away from the fact that it's going to activate that 10th house even more. So your career will be important to you this month, and you will be making some extra efforts to be successful. Being successful is great. I love it. I'm sure you do. But be careful, because that planet isn't friendly. The way you go about things might not work to your advantage. So use more of the intellectual side of Mercury rather than the bravado of Mars, and I think you can achieve the end that you have in mind. The Sun, which I said earlier, is not too bad a planet. On the 21st, moves into this 10th house as well, and that normally signals some sort of really, really good opportunity to achieve success or some sort of promotion. There will be opportunities there, no doubt, for you. Now that is preceded by the new moon, which does take place in the 9th house. So up until that time, that's the 18th of May, the new moon takes place, and I think it's at that point you might start to see an opening out and a clearer understanding and a better perspective on what it is you want to do in terms of your study, if that's what you want to do. If not, then this may in fact relate to journeys, foreign journeys, and foreign cultural situations. The internet is part of that. So some of you may be expanding your personal knowledge. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll go and do some diploma or degree, but just expanding the mind and feeling good about that. The last few transits of the month as I mentioned, are good. You've got that 10th house seeming to dominate even further up till the 31st, with Mercury conjoining Mars and then the Sun conjoining Mercury, all in that 10th house of career, employers, professionalism and that sort of thing. So I think that's a good note to end on, and one that we will continue to study over the coming months. If you'd care to join me here, which as I do every month, you're more than welcome to. In the meantime, don't forget, you can get a more detailed analysis of this in writing at the website astrology.com.au. I will invite you to come and join me there. And till next month, have a good one. Take care now. Bye-bye.